Hello, Mark. First, I have a sad news. You shot a whole lot of measurement drill. This was pretty ineffective training. I'll explain why. First, this was the first string where you measure the first shot flip up. Every single recoil is kicking your body back a lot. Every time you're moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, by a lot. Like, are you seeing just one pair? Like your head and the back was right there. After two shots, you see how much body position changed, and then now you're coming back all the way. The second string as well. The second string was even worse. The first started the body angle wise, like it's pretty kind of straight up. Everything straight up. After a couple shot, what do you notice? What do you notice? Your stance is leaned back. Now, why is that important? Let's say this was original angle straight and the later angle leaned back. And the arm, of course, was started, let's say 90 degrees. And now the 90 degree is no longer 90 degrees. The amount of flip changes, inconsistent amount of flip, and the target is telling you. The second shot group is pretty sporadic. It's very big, very, very big. So, and one more thing is, when you shoot the second shot, let's take a look. You see, first shot fired, and then look at the muzzle. You brought it back down slightly and then shot the second shot. You cannot bring it back down. Shoot first shot. You see how you shoot the one shot and then just a little bit of return. You brought it back down. You can see your shoulders and the arm over here coming back down. Oh, sorry, that was in between first and the second shot. Okay, let's take a look at one of the first pairs. So first shot goes up, and then you can see after first shot, muzzle slightly returning. So it's kind of like you want to treat it as, you know how bullseye shooters shoot one shot and then the gun stops higher? That's basically kind of like it. You do not want to return in any amount. Your arms, shoulders, your body should be completely stationary. However, in order to do that, you got to get the right stance. So I'm pretty sure you watched all the recoil management series, I think. So go back and review the stance video. I mentioned how, let me find a spot where I can see your hip as well. So in that stance video, I tell people to bring your hip back. Position your hip slightly back, which is the first motion of squats. This engages a lot of good big muscles. And another benefit is your body is, or center of gravity, is more balanced with upper body forward. You don't want to have upper body forward without bringing your hip back, or you don't want to have your head forward and upper body forward that way. You want to keep that body and the foot at the same level, same plank, but simply bring your hip back. By moving your hip back, your upper body angle will be slightly forward without your head or shoulders trying to come forward like a tactical, people so-called tech tarts. But that has to be there. So there's 4 sectors in our recoil management. First, grip. Second, joints. Third, stance. Fourth, return. Measurement drill is strictly for return process. The fourth part. In order to have the fourth part, you need to not maybe master, but you need to work on the first 3, make it solid first. Let's go step by step. First, I said grip, right? In terms of grip, when I look at it, I don't see anything like the gun moves 1 unit. Strong hand, weak hand, trigger guard, and the gun side to side, everything looks pretty good for the grip. Grip, solid. Joints. There's just a hair amount of flip on the strong hand side, which is okay. Like this amount of flip is very nice. It's pretty controlled joints wise. Elbow as well, looking pretty good. So I don't have not much at all. Not much things to say about grip and joints at this point. However, the stance, number 3, is not there. So your measurement drill or your return is not consistent. You have to fix your stance first. So you're not kicking back and body cannot move back and forth like right now. It's not going to give you a result, consistent result. What that means is your flip, it doesn't matter if you measure or not because it's so inconsistent. So fix the stance and try measurement drill one more time. Not one more time, many more times for sure. Okay, so later ones. So let's take a look at, I think this was, yes, when you are shooting doubles, the second shot is not returned properly. And another thing you should notice is this. First shot and second shot, and the gun is still going up. I'll play in slow-mo. Second shot, after the second shot, the gun should still either return to 0 or immediately stop wherever it flipped. However, you're almost moving the gun up on purpose. Look at that. It should stabilize immediately. Keep your wrist locked. Don't do that. Don't have the second shot up. So if I draw, recoil comes back. Recoil, it should be either stopped here or there if that's the spot for the flip, how much it flips. And if this is a 0 spot, so first shot, the gun should always, after second shot, either stop back to 0 or back up if you don't return. However, you're actually letting it move more than that. Don't do that. That's a very bad habit. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at the target right here. So whenever you see side-to-side shot variation, so right there, so you see how there's some left side, low left side sometimes. I don't know honestly where this one's, I think that one's more like a outlier. When you do measurement drill, try to see if any movement side to side when the gun flips. So if the front side is flipping 1 o'clock or this o'clock, so when the front side goes sideways, it's typical to return the opposite way, so end up having low left shots like that. Or it's also possible to return the gun like this. You're returning straight back down, but the flip wasn't straight. So there's a multiple cases. So typically when it goes this way, it could be imbalanced lock of your wrist. Strong hand side wrist may be flipping a little bit more, or it could be grip positioning change. So if you are pushing too much with the support hand to the side, to the left side or right side, it can move around due to proper direction of pressure. So try to make that front side straight up and down in measurement drill and then return straight back down. So this type of a recoil management is most predictable and the tightest grip possible you can get, since our A zone is pretty narrow. All right, I'll talk to you next time.